used to have that cynical view of Christmas. She used to love this time of year, even the bling, for its essential message of joy, love and peace. This year was different. This year she was blanking it all out, like everything else. "I'm off to the Blackwater Valley," she told Gemma. "Sounds like a lovely part of the country," Gemma said, turning to look out the window. "Although, I think you'll be lucky to get going anywhere in this weather, never mind the depths of Munster." Izzie followed her gaze. Outside on Bagot Street, beyond the first floor window of O'Sullivan Pierce Auctioneers, the sky resembled a dense, murky cloak pressing down on Dublin city centre. Underneath that, a cloud of spinning snowflakes eddied and bumped against each other on a thick cascade. The snow had started falling earlier that morning. She'd awoken to a world dusted in white, but now it was getting heavier. A dense layer of snow covered the paths and the road outside, gouged sporadically with footprints and tyre tracks from slow-moving traffic. Small hillocks of slush were piling against the curb. Sam would have loved the snow. He'd missed it by almost 12 weeks, 11 weeks and 5 days to be exact. She was still counting in days and weeks. Soon it would be months. "My mum says it reminds her of the Christmas freeze of 2010, Gemma continued, her overly chatty tone telling Izzie that her young mentee had sensed her pang of sadness and was doing her best to keep things light for Izzie's sake. "I didn't take too much notice at the time. I was 15 and indulging in a major wallow of self-pity over my first painful breakup." Gemma rolled her eyes. "He went off with one of my so-called friends. You should have seen me, Izzie. Talk about tragedy queen. I spent most of that Christmas holed up in my bedroom, writing crap poetry and planning horrible revenge." Izzie felt a small smile curving her mouth at the image Gemma conjured up. "Poetry is never crap," she said. 7 years since the last big Christmas freeze. Izzie had been 25 and had enjoyed the novelty of it all. She lifted her chin. "I'm not going to let a bit of snow stop me," she said. At least things were still moving in the city centre, albeit at a snail's pace. But if the snow continued like this into the afternoon or evening, everything could grind to a halt. "A bit? Yeah, right. You're so funny, Izzie." Gemma's brow wrinkled. "So long as you don't get stranded somewhere. Could easily happen, you know, according to the forecast. Please stay safe." "I'll be fine. I'm out of here by lunchtime, and I'll be halfway there before it gets any worse." She didn't bother crossing her fingers at the lie. Gemma's eyes glinted merrily. "I'll think of ye, forcing down cabbage soup when I'm tucking into my yummy turkey and ham." "Less of the cabbage soup," Izzie said. "It's a holistic retreat, and we'll get fed healthily and nutritiously. I'm not that much of a martyr. Anybody who turns down Christmas and all the trimmings in favour of a country yoga retreat has to be a saint of some description. I'd sooner die than pass up a Christmas dinner." "Oh," Izzie watched the dawning realisation ripple across Gemma's face. As her hand went up to her mouth and knew exactly what was coming next. She could manage this. She could. "Geez, Izzie, I'm awful sorry. I forgot for a moment," Gemma said, speaking through her fingers as though the flimsy barrier might prevent a further faux pas from breaking free, the effect lessened by the flashing knuckle-duster Rudolph ring she was wearing. Izzie twirled a pencil between her slim fingers. "It's okay. I'm glad you forgot. I'd far prefer that. Life goes on, as they say." She was glad Gemma hadn't been around when the bottom had dropped out of her world. Gemma had only begun her internship shortly before Izzie had returned to her job in the head office of O'Sullivan Pierce in mid-November, after 6 weeks' leave of absence. And Izzie knew full well that she'd been quietly advised as to her mentor's delicate circumstances, lest she put her foot in it. She was glad that Gemma occasionally forgot to walk on eggshells around her. It meant she saw...